So let me ask you a quick question.
Yeah.
Do you believe that a leader should only hold one group accountable?
No, because like I said, like us, let's just say, let's pretend if we were husbands and we have children and we have families, we have to lead, and that leadership might look different from family to family. But also, like I said, like when I looked at this manosphere stuff, I said, and this red pill stuff, I said, and I haven't done it. Shame on me. This is a call to action for all of us to start doing to mentoring some young children, specifically young Black boys, because what they're going through right now, the world is changing, and men in society are trying to promote this status quo, even saying, yo, look, your wife should look like a cartoon character, should have a baby in one hand and baking bread in the other, and that's normal. That's not normal. What I'm trying to say is, I think I'm not answering your question. What was your question?
You answered it, but then you continued on
Yeah, sorry.
because your message isn't necessarily wrong, but it can fall on deaf ears because if people can see you only hold one side accountable and not the other one, what's going to happen is now they're looking at you because any wise leader, especially if you're talking about if you had like a sports team,
Yeah,
if you don't keep the superstars accountable,
right.
but you keep the people that aren't superstars accountable, the people who aren't superstars are going to look at the superstar and be like, yo, like, we don't like this guy. We don't care nothing about what this guy, and you're going to be a detriment to the group because you're only keeping one side accountable.
Well, that's the I think
Let me
that's part of the. I want to just say one thing, Sharon. That's part of the problem with Black men is like they want to move. They want to move at the same pace as Black women.
No,
Black women
no,
are,
they don't.
yes, they
They
do.
don't.
They
We
act,
have very different skill sets and we have very different things that we work to try to do. Granted, a lot of men understand like women are really great at school. We
mm-hmm.
don't I still don't know why women are so great at school compared to guys. I don't know if it's because of the way they were brought or whatever, but we still work until the day we die more times than not. We're able to be flexible and be the scapegoat or the sacrifice for a lot of women to continue to get these accolades that they're getting.
Yeah.
So you have to understand that if you don't actively make it so that we work together to get these goals made instead of just harping on the guys. The guys are literally getting trashed left and right, talking about you're too fat, you
No,
don't
they're
make
not.
enough money, you know, you smell funny, you're weird, you
No,
don't
they're
have
not.
emotional intelligence.
No, they're
Men are
not.
getting told all of these things is why they don't measure up to the reason why they are in the situation that they're in.
HD.
So just like for you to just say this, it just doesn't make any viable sense.
HD. The gender war is a male-driven.
it is.
It's a male-driven attention seeking. Hey, we're failing, but let's use a smoke screen so y'all don't see that we're failing, so we can point the blame at the women.
No, they're absolutely saying, listen, like
Let
guys
me
have been hearing that they ain't been making no money for years. So what did they start doing? They started going to work. They started dressing better. They started getting into tech. They started taking on blue collar jobs. Like guys started making bread.
But HD, if we talk about the born out of wedlock problem, we can't hold the women
The
accountable.
born out of wedlock problem is a takes two to tango situation. If guys are going in women raw
Right.
and women are allowing them to go in raw, this is the reason why we have the problem that we have. It's not just a one size, and you can't say that men are leaders of women when women have been leading their lives until they got married. So you got two people who are responsible for themselves, right? But you're asking the guy to be a leader to somebody that hasn't agreed to follow under that person. That doesn't make any sense.
No, what I'm saying is like, one, you need to govern your life in a way that you're moving with intention. You should not be slipping up into, oh my God, I got someone pregnant. I haven't even met her family yet. That can happen. That's suboptimal. What I'm trying to say is this: you should be moving with intention. And what I'm saying is, when we have the born out of wedlock problem, the women are raising those kids, right? The women are the matriarchs of most of our families, right? Can we agree on that? Yes or no?
We don't disagree that men need to continue to strive for better. That's not the argument that I'm making. We agree on that.
We're
The
out the middle.
argument that I'm making is it doesn't make sense for you to say that men are leaders, but you're trying to tell the other men, you're trying to tell men that you only harp on men. And then as the men look at the issues that the women are causing, and you're like, I'm not going to talk about that because you're the leader. that's not the way that you're going to get men at large or even women to buy in that they need to improve or some
Well,
things. That's
then
not how that's going to work.
HD, all in all due respect, that's immaturity. You're not supposed to be working when you go to college. You're not looking left and right and saying how are they doing, how they doing. You're supposed to be looking at your grades and how are you passing the class.
So okay, so there's some things I will agree with. I'm gonna say I've had a numerous amount of women who I've had on the show who I introduced to the panel, and they feel like this is a whole bunch of toxic men. I'm not even attracted. It makes me not even want to be around men anymore, right? I mean, it's like it's almost sickening a little bit. You feel me? And I think that comes because and I want to be very careful because I understand. I think people are frustrated, and so this is a venting time. But it does, and I understand this is the manosphere. It's for men, right, to vent. And so with knowing that it does, most of the topics are about women. It's
Right.
not about men. They're about, it's the point where I had me a mistake and be like, we'll sit this one out. Because how often can we talk about women? Like, I'll call mistaken, like, yo, I can't bash women tonight. Like, I can't, enough is, it's frustrating. And I get it because you want it to be, I'm not saying women are perfect because they're absolutely not. I see exactly what you're saying, but it needs to be a balance. And I feel the balance is the opposite of what you're saying, HD. I think if you go look at all the topics, how many of them are talking about men? Go back and look at all the topics from 3 years in this platform. They're all women, 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 women.
It's all women because that's the topics that I want to talk about.
No, that's what the men want to hear.
But we was watching something. Remember one time we were talking about how even on King Talk, when that's supposed to be a show by men, for men, about men, that women still come up.
Right.
You know why women come up? It's because we like women. It's
No,
like
it's beyond
you
that.
can't have
Sound
this
like you
world
like women the way
dies.
you talk about women. It doesn't. Well, let me be
Mistaken.
specific. It doesn't sound like you like Black women the way that y'all talk about.
No,
And
if we can't talk about the women that we with, who we gonna talk about?
Black women is because most of the time we're talking about Black issues. That's the only reason I said that.
Well,
But mistaken. Can I ask you a quick question?
Mhm.
Do you think that the world will continue to go on if men and women don't get together?
that's never going to happen.
No.
What's never going to happen?
The obvious answer is no. Of course, the world wouldn't go on if men and women didn't get together.
So
But
therefore, if
to
we have
Maroon's point,
issues,
that would never happen.
no,
So
it will happen because it happens every day. Your relationship is an example. The parents before you are an example. It happens. The problem is when people have issues and grievances, especially when a man has issues or grievances with women, people feel like you can't advocate those things. You can't articulate it. Even if I say it in a nice way, the second that you feel like there's an issue or you feel some type of way about what I'm saying, whether it's wrong or right, it's about to go into the toilet because sometimes when you talk to women, they feel like you can't actually tell them that I have an issue with you.
So
So it's just like men have spent a large amount of their lives not saying anything about their issue.